Coach, back home in front of the home crowd after a long road trip, how did it feel to be back at Bell MTS Place?
Really good. So we spent pretty much the whole week here practicing, having our meetings, and the mindset was right. I think we came out the right way. We were moving right. So it's really good to get the win.
Important to see your team, you score the first goal, then you give up two, to not fold, especially against a really powerful Iowa team.
Well, like I said, the mindset was right. We even when they scored, we felt we were in the game. We felt the 5-on-5 game we were the better team, and that was one of those nights where we were moving right. We were supporting the puck. The bench was alive. Guys were talking on the ice, and we were moving the proper way. So when it goes out of hand, 2-3 goals in a row against, then it's hard to come back. But we felt we were in the game the whole time.
Our first opportunity to see Logan Shaw. You've obviously had him for the road trip, but nice contributions from a veteran player.
Well, he does a lot of good things out there. He can play center, he can play wing. Good on face-offs, special teams. He's a good addition.
Go on.
We sort of looked at the penalty kill as something that powered your team. You've talked a lot about special teams, coming from good 5-on-5 play, but it seems almost the opposite in the first two periods.
Yeah, well, I feel like, and I've said that quite a few times, when your 5-on-5 game is good, your special teams most of the time will be good. We didn't have a chance to see too many power plays tonight, but our PK was good. Big shots being blocked, good sticks, good awareness against a very good power play.
Speaking of the penalty kill, Logan Stanley recently has really started to get some augmented minutes, even strength and penalty kill. Was paired with Tucker Poolman tonight on what one might call the top pairing. What can you tell us about his game and his progress so far early in the season?
Well, he's just the guy that we've seen in the past years coming to development camp or training camp, and the player that he is now. There's a huge difference in his maturity and the way he plays the game. He's playing heavy minutes. He's a confident player on the ice, and we appreciate that. He knows what he has to do. His focus is only on a few things: having a good stick, playing well defensively, making a good first pass, and he's got a good shot. So his confidence should be high because he's playing good minutes for us, and he's playing the right way.
I don't want to say does it surprise you, but having three very young blue liners on the back end, all playing significant minutes between Stanley, Green, both rookies, and then Noje, who of course isn't a rookie, but had that abbreviated time last year.
Yeah.
How do you guys not only make do but win with that young a blue line? Well,
we don't spend any time thinking about how old we are. I mean, we're a young team, but we don't. Our approach to the game is the same as what we had in the past, and we have a job to do, and we trust those guys. I think they see that they're going to play, and they feel they can make mistakes. As long as they're not lazy mistakes, they feel they can play the game, and the young players nowadays, they want to know why we make certain decisions, and I think our lines of communication with the players is pretty strong. There's a trust factor. We trust our players, they trust us, and young players, there's a lot to be that is done in the summer development camp, and then they come to training camp, and to be part of the big picture. They know what is expected from them. They were told by our development coaches. So there's a process. So our young players, and talent's got no age, right? And guts has no age. So we want those guys to be confident and play the right way. And as long as you work hard and you play within our system and you do what you're good at, you're going to be fine and you're going to play.
Speaking of guts, Skylar Mackenzie is a player who's obviously a rookie winger, mainly playing your bottom six. If you looked at his stats before he came to the Moose, you probably think he's a scorer. You wouldn't necessarily think he's the most physical guy at 5'8", but he throws his weight around like crazy. What can you tell us about his development and his season so far?
Well, I'm very impressed with him, and he's playing lower minutes right now. Eventually, he's going to be asked to play more. But there's a value to learn to play those minutes. Thinking about Matthew Perreault here, can play a top line, can play power play, and he can play lower minutes. And what he brings every single shift is the same thing. The energy that he brings is amazing. So Skylar is in the same model, kind of. When he gets out there, he brings the energy that he has to bring, and he's really gutsy. But that's part of his game, and we knew that coming in. We knew he's a guy that gets first to the puck, and he's not gonna refuse any hits to make plays. And what he brings is that's a type of leadership. What he does on the ice, it boosts the bench every time.
What can you say about Emile Poirier? He had a really nice goal. Got hurt in the first period, and still managed to come back, score that critical goal for you.
Yeah, he's a really smart player. I think he's still a guy that is developing as far as his style of play and what he can bring. But really smart. When you talk to him, when you talk hockey with him, he's a smart hockey man, and we can see it on the ice. He sees things that some other players won't see, and he has the timing for him to get to the net and make those plays is really good. He had multiple chances in the previous games. It just didn't work, but today it did, and he's going to get rewarded. If he plays that way, he's going to get rewarded.
Speaking of things that work seemingly every time, what can you tell us about Michael Spacek and Mason Appleton when they're in overtime?
Second time they give us a win that way, so it seems like the combination between the two of them, the synergy is pretty good in overtime, so that's a good recipe, and we're going to keep using it as much as we can. But that was a great play. Like, I thought Michael Spacek played probably his best game of the season. He was driving the net, he was moving his feet, he was strong on the puck. So it's good for him to get rewarded that way, because he's a guy that needs that kind of reward in order to feel good about himself, and I'm happy for him.